Hello, you are welcome to Corrosive Online Tutorials, where complex topics are made easy. In our today's video, we want to look at physics, and the topic is motion. So to begin with, what is motion? Now, motion is the change of position of an object with time. Motion is the change of the position of an object with time. So if I want to write it on the board, I'll say motion is the change of position of an object with time. So it has to do with movement. For example, I'm standing here. When I move from this spot to this place, that is motion. And it took some time to walk from that place to this spot. So motion is the change of position of an object with time. Now, there are different types of motion you must know. Okay? There are different types of motion. And number one, you have rectilinear. Rectilinear motion. Number two, you have circular motion. Number three, you have rotational motion. Number four, you have oscillatory motion. Number five, you have random motion. Now let's take the first one. What is rectilinear motion? From the word you can see rectilinear, linear. The word linear there means straight line. So this is the motion of an object along a straight line. For example, e.g., when an object moves from point A to point B, that type of motion, we say it is what? Rectilinear motion. When an object moves from point A to where? To point B, we say that that object has performed a rectilinear motion. Simple. Number two is circular motion. Now, circular motion is the movement of an object around a circular path. Okay, the movement of an object around the circumference of a circle. For example, you can have an object going round, okay, during an inter-house sport in a relay race. You have 400-meter race, okay, when you have a relay race, the exchange pattern, okay, just going round like this is what we call circular motion. The motion of an object around the circumference of a circle or move around a circular path. Okay, example is the rotation of an electric fan blade. The rotation of an electric fan blade is an example of a rotational motion. When an electric fan blade, okay, you know electric fan blade, when it moves, okay, you have an electric fan blade, okay, the rotation as it rotates, the rotation of an electric fan blade is a typical example of a circular motion. Not only that, also you also know that the earth rotates. Yes, the earth move around the sun. Okay, you have the sun. The movement of the earth around the sun. This is the sun. Let's say this is the sun, and this is the earth. Yeah, it goes around the sun every 365 days. The earth goes around the sun every 365 days. So that is an example of a circular motion. Also, the earth has a satellite called the moon. Okay, the moon also go around the earth every 28 days. Okay, the moon goes around the earth every 28 days. Now, these are examples of circular motion. Number three type of motion is rotational motion. Now, rotational motion is a little bit different from circular motion in the sense that in rotational motion, the object rotates around its axis. The axis goes through the object. So the object rotates around its axis. For example, now the earth has an axis. Apart from the fact that the earth goes around the sun, the earth also rotates about its axis. It rotates. In fact, the rotation of the earth about its axis brings about day and night. Okay, so the earth also rotates about its axis. So that is an example of a rotational motion. For example, also the rotation of not electric, the rotation of wheel. Okay, you see the car, the tire of wheel, it rotates. Okay, that rotation about its axis is also an example of rotational what? Motion. It's an example of rotational motion. Number 4 type of motion here is talking about it's an oscillatory motion. That is the motion of an object to and fro. To and fro about a fixed point. Okay, the object go to and fro at a regular interval about a fixed point. So you have a fixed point, the object goes to and fro about a fixed point, like that. It goes to and fro about a fixed point. A typical example is a simple pendulum. A pendulum. Pendulum goes to and fro. Okay, when it goes to and fro, that is a full cycle. Okay, so it's a typical example of oscillatory motion, the movement of an object to and fro at a regular interval about a fixed axis. Okay, another example of oscillatory motion is a talking drum. Okay, a talking drum is a typical example. A talking drum will perform an oscillatory motion. Talking drum will perform oscillatory motion. Okay, talking drum will perform oscillatory motion. Then the last one is random motion. Random motion is the motion of an object in a zigzag manner. Okay, without direction. The movement of an object in a zigzag manner. Example, the motion of gas, the motion of a smoke. You know smoke? You have smoke. It's a typical example of a random motion. Dust, particles, gas. Okay, these are examples of random. Now, a single object can perform more than one type of motion. For example, a tire rule now can perform number 1, a linear motion and a rotational motion. A single tire that is rolling now, the vehicle when you're driving, okay, on the road, that the tire is performing a translatory motion at the same time a rotational motion, because you have its axis, the wheel there, it's connected to the tire. So one object can perform more than one type of motion. So in my next video, I'm going to be discussing the parameters and equations of motion. Okay, the parameters and the equations of motion. In this video, I just discussed definition of motion and the type of motion. In my next video, I will concentrate on the parameters and the equations of motion. Thank you.